Chosen one, stop. Don't scroll. Don't move. Don't let anything distract you for the next few moments. Heaven has waited for the perfect alignment to reveal what was once hidden from your eyes. This is the moment destiny has carved out specifically for you. It is not for yesterday. It is not for last week. It is for this precise second. This message is not for everyone. It is only for those who have survived the fire. It is for those who kept believing when every voice told them to stop. You have passed the test without even realizing you were being watched. You have endured the silence, and now the silence is over. The Father is speaking directly to you right now, and He says it is time. Tell them everything. They are ready to receive what was prepared in the dark. If you feel your spirit burning with recognition, you must seal this moment. Be emphatic in your response. Like this video and subscribe to this channel immediately. Your action is your declaration of faith. Stay with me because the truth I am about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about your pain. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you will heal the parts of your soul that felt abandoned by the light. You have spent seasons asking the heavy question of why the heavens remained silent while your heart was screaming for a sign. You felt like a forgotten soldier in a war you never asked to fight. But the truth is far more strategic than your pain allowed you to see. God was not silent because He was distant. He was silent because He was focused on the intricate details of your transformation. Just as Moses spent 40 years as a shepherd in the desert of Midian before the burning bush appeared, and Marcus Aurelius endured decades of administrative drudgery before he was allowed to become the philosopher king, you too have been in a period of necessary obscurity. This silence was the divine forge where your spirit was being tempered. You had to grow in ways that only happens in the dark. You had to break so that the light could finally find its way into the cracks of your ego. You had to heal from the betrayals that would have sabotaged your future if they had not been processed in the secret place. You had to mature until the sound of His voice became more important to you than the applause of the world. This silence was a divine mercy. Your golden shadow, that immense potential you were once afraid to claim, is now ready to be integrated into who you are. Had He given you the crown before He gave you the character, the weight of the glory would have destroyed the very head it was meant to honor. Your delay was never a denial. It was a strategic pause in the symphony of your life to ensure that every note of your destiny would be played in perfect pitch. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where the architect of time intended for you to be at this very second. This is your Kairos moment, the opportune second where preparation meets manifestation and the pressure of your Saturn return is forcing you to align with your true calling. You have reached the threshold of spiritual alignment where your heart is finally steady enough to handle the sudden acceleration that is coming. Take a moment right now to acknowledge this shift in the atmosphere. Like this video to seal your agreement with this revelation. Go to the comments and type the name of the city where you are currently standing. This is not just a comment. This is a prophetic marker on the map of your journey, declaring that you are no longer lost in the silence. The Father is looking at you right now, and He is pleased with the endurance you showed when the path was invisible. He watched every night you chose to stay faithful, despite the absence of a visible reward. He saw the moments you whispered His name through gritted teeth when life felt like it was falling apart. That period of fermentation is over. The hidden years have done their work. The truth you are about to hear next carries a frequency of power that only the mature can steward. Prepare your spirit, for the veil is about to be lifted, and the reason for every storm you weathered is about to become unmistakably clear. Think about Joseph. He was a young man who carried the weight of heaven in his dreams, long before he carried the gold of Egypt on his neck. He saw the sun and the moon bowing to him in visions of light, but the path to that glory did not lead through a garden of comfort. It led directly into the mouth of a pit. It led through the cold, calculated betrayal of his own brothers. It led through years of suffocating darkness in a prison cell where he was forgotten by every human heart that had once promised him loyalty. You must ask yourself why the architect of time allowed such cruelty to befall a chosen soul. Why was the dreamer left to rot in the shadows while the world moved on without him? The answer is the foundation of your own existence. Joseph the boy had to die so that Joseph the Savior could be born. He had to be stripped of the coat of many colors so that he could eventually wear the robes of a ruler. The prison was not his punishment. It was his university. He had to learn the language of suffering before he could speak the language of power, and he had to be broken by men so that he could be made whole by the divine. The same is true for you, chosen one. You have looked at the landscape of your life and seen only the ruins of your expectations. You have gone through battles you never asked for and endured losses that felt like they would tear the very spirit from your chest. You have survived storms you didn't see coming and walked through seasons of isolation where the silence was so loud it felt like a physical weight on your shoulders. You have lived through every closed door, every sudden betrayal, every unexpected delay, and every lonely night where you felt like a ghost in your own story. There were nights where you cried until you tasted your own tears, and the salt of your sorrow became the only thing that felt real in a world that had turned its back on you. You felt abandoned by the light and forgotten by the very destiny you were promised. But look closely at the person you have become. You are still here. You did not break because you were being forged. You did not fail because you were being prepared for a weight of glory you could not yet imagine. God was not waiting for your situation to change. He was waiting for you to transform. He was waiting for the fire to burn away the impurities of your ego and the fears of your past. He was waiting for the silence to teach you how to hear the whisper of your own internal authority. He was watching the pressure of your circumstances turn your coal into a diamond. Now look at the reality of your spirit. You are transformed. You are strengthened. You are awakened. You are no longer the person who entered the valley of shadows. You are a warrior who has been tempered by the very things that were sent to destroy you. You are a light bearer who has learned to glow in the absolute dark. You have passed the test of the hidden years, and the scent of the furnace is no longer on your clothes. Before I lift the veil on the final secret that will explain your entire journey, you must mark this moment of recognition. Like this video right now to seal your strength and go to the comments to type the exact time and hour you are watching this message. This is your prophetic timestamp. This is the moment you declare to the universe that you are no longer a victim of your history, but the master of your destiny. Do it now, for the frequency is rising. Only now that you have survived the pit can you be trusted with the keys to the palace. Only now can you hear the truth I am about to reveal without breaking under the immense weight of it. You have been sculpted for this calling, and your season of recognition has finally arrived. Your old season is over. Your new life has begun. Here it is. Here it is. Something inside you is starting to vibrate with an ancient recognition because your spirit has been waiting for this exact frequency to be released into your atmosphere. You have spent years looking at your life through the lens of a victim, counting the scars and mourning the seasons that felt like they were stolen by the shadows. But today, the veil is being lifted and the truth is being revealed. You were never just fighting for survival. You were never just wandering in the wilderness without a map. You were being sculpted with surgical precision for a calling that is too heavy for an ordinary spirit to carry. Every closed door that made you feel rejected was actually a divine hand protecting you from a path that would have led to your destruction. Every betrayal that left you gasping for air was a necessary removal of those who could not survive the altitude of your future. Every delay that made you feel like you were falling behind was a strategic pause to ensure that your character was strong enough to sustain the weight of your crown. Every lonely night, where the silence felt like a prison, was actually a sanctuary where your internal authority was being tempered in the dark. Every heartbreak that felt like it would end you was a breaking of the shell so that the true essence of your power could finally emerge. Every disappointment was a divine filter designed to remove the temporary people and the shallow dreams so that only the eternal could remain. You must understand that nothing in your journey has been aleatory. Not one tear was forgotten by the architect of time. Not one moment of agony was a mistake. You have been in the divine forge. You have been hammered by the pressures of life so that you would take the shape of a leader who cannot be bought and a warrior who cannot be intimidated. You were being prepared as a light bearer whose glow is not dependent on the environment because your fire was kindled in the deepest valleys where the air is thin and the shadows are thick. You are a world shifter who has been given the keys to the very gates that once tried to hold you captive. The enemy did not attack you because he saw a weakness in your spirit. He attacked you because he saw your destiny long before you did. He recognized the frequency of your throne while you were still looking at the dust of your mistakes. His attacks were not a sign of your failure, but the greatest compliment the kingdom of darkness could ever pay you. They were a frantic attempt to stop a move of God that he knew was inevitable. He saw the threat you posed to the status quo, and he tried to extinguish your light before you knew how to shine. God was not waiting for your bank account to change or for your critics to fall silent before he could bless you. He was waiting for your internal landscape to transform into the image of his intention. He was waiting for the moment when you would stop seeking permission from the world to be great and start accepting the mandate from heaven to be holy. He was waiting for your endurance to prove that you could handle the acceleration that is coming next. You are not who you were when you entered this season. You are refined. You are strengthened. You are awakened. The person who cried until they tasted their own tears has died, and the sovereign being who will rule over their circumstances has been born. Your spiritual promotion has been activated in the high courts of heaven at this very second. The hidden years are officially over, and your name is being moved from the list of the prepared to the list of the manifested. This revelation is the key that unlocks the door to your next chapter. You are moving from Chronos, the sequential time of the world, into Kairos, the opportune second of divine destiny. To seal this activation and declare your alignment with this new frequency of power, you must take a step of faith right now. Subscribe to this channel and join the assembly of the chosen ones who are rising in this hour. Your action is the signature on your new contract with glory, and it signals to the universe that you are ready to be revealed. Stay focused, for the transition from the forge to the stage is happening now. Your next season has already begun. You can feel it in the very air you breathe and in the strange electric tension that has settled over your life in these last few days. The atmosphere around you has shifted, and the static you have been experiencing is not a sign of a broken connection, but a sign of a frequency change. You are currently standing in the eye of the storm, where the old world is collapsing and the new world is fighting to be born within you. The intense spiritual warfare you have faced recently was never a sign that you were losing ground. It was the final, desperate resistance of a season that knows its time is up. The enemy attacked you with such ferocity because he can smell the scent of the palace on you even while you are still standing in the dust of the forge. He knows that his authority over your story is expiring, and he fought you with everything he had because he realized that once you step through the door that is opening now, you will be beyond his reach forever. Every arrow sent your way was a silent confirmation of your proximity to the throne. Every whisper of doubt was a frantic reaction to the roar of your destiny that is beginning to echo in the high courts of heaven. The exhaustion you carry right now is not a sign of defeat. It is the weight of the glory that is being prepared for you. You have been running a marathon in the dark, and you are currently in those final, agonizing steps before the finish line comes into view. This specific fatigue is the signature of a transition. It is the exhaustion of the caterpillar just before the cocoon splits open. It is the weariness of the soldier who has held the line through the longest night and is now watching the first rays of the sun hit the horizon. Heaven is asking you to hold on for just one more moment, because the very pressure that feels like it is crushing you is the same pressure that is aligning your spirit with its highest calling. This is the weight of your Saturn return, forcing you to shed the skin of your former self so that you can step into the sovereignty of your true identity. You are being squeezed not to be broken, but to be refined. You are being pushed not to fall, but to fly. The pressure you feel is the signal that your season is turning. In the natural world, the highest pressure occurs just before the breakthrough. The darkest hour is always the one that precedes the dawn. The greatest resistance is always found at the threshold of the greatest promotion. If you are feeling the heat of the furnace increasing, it is because the gold of your character is finally ready to be poured into the mold of your purpose. The architect of time has been watching you closely. He waited until you had survived the silence. He waited until you had endured the betrayal. He waited until the fire had burned away every shallow ambition and left only the pure, indestructible core of your calling. He waited because he knew that only a spirit tempered by this level of warfare could be trusted with the keys to the kingdom that are being handed to you now. The war you are sensing is a war of recognition. The kingdom of darkness recognized your light before you knew how to turn it on. The heavens recognized your authority before you knew how to speak it. The only one left to recognize the magnitude of this moment is you. You must stop interpreting your struggle as a sign of abandonment and start seeing it as a sign of importance. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are a threat to the status quo of the world. You are a world shifter who has been kept in reserve for this exact hour. You are a light bearer who has been trained in the absolute dark to shine where others have failed. This is your Kairos moment. This is the opportune second where all the years of preparation meet the sudden acceleration of divine intent. The Father is looking at you right now, and the silence has been replaced by a roar of approval. He is speaking directly to the depths of your soul, and his message is clear. He is saying that the resistance you faced was the proof of the reward that is coming. He is saying that the tears you shed were the seeds of the harvest you are about to reap. He is saying that the warfare was the final gate before the palace. He is leaning in now, speaking to the heavens on your behalf, and he is saying, "Tell them everything. They are ready. They have passed the test. They have kept the faith. They are prepared to receive what was reserved for the end of the age." If you can feel the truth of this message vibrating in your chest, you must anchor this alignment right now. Do not let this moment pass without a physical act of agreement. Like this video, to seal your breakthrough and go to the comments immediately to type the code 777. By typing these numbers, you are declaring your spiritual completion and your entrance into the rest and the reward of the chosen. You are signaling to the universe that you have recognized the signs of your advancement and that you are ready to step into the light. This is your mark of victory. This is your signature on the decree of your promotion. Stay alert, chosen one, for the veil is thin and the next revelation will show you exactly what is waiting on the other side of this war. Your transition is happening in this very breath. This is only the beginning. The next chapter of your existence is not just approaching. It is already unfolding beneath your feet as you listen to these words. The atmosphere around you is thinning because the weight of your preparation has finally reached the tipping point of your manifestation. Now, listen carefully, chosen one, because the truth the Father wants you to grasp in this specific second is no longer about the shadows you survived. It is about the light you are about to inhabit. For years you have looked backward to understand your pain, but now you must look forward to understand your power. The season of looking for answers in the ruins of your past is over, and the season of receiving instructions for your future has begun. There is a clarity coming to you that will make your previous confusion look like a distant and fading dream. There is a peace coming to your house that will guard your heart against the very storms that once kept you awake in terror. There are divine instructions being downloaded into your spirit even now that will show you exactly where to step and when to move. Everything is about to change, and it will happen with a speed that will leave your critics speechless. Hear the declarations of your destiny as they are written in the high courts of heaven. Doors are opening for you right now that no human hand has the power to close. You have spent seasons knocking on gates that remained cold and locked, but in this new hour, the gates themselves will vanish. You will walk into rooms where you were never invited and find that your name was already engraved on the seats of authority. People who once ignored your value and treated your presence as an afterthought will soon seek your counsel and your presence just to catch a glimpse of the grace you carry. They will wonder how the one they saw in the dust is suddenly standing in the light of the palace. Opportunities will no longer be things you have to hunt and trap. Opportunities will begin to chase you. They will pursue you until you have no choice but to accept the abundance that has been reserved for your name. Blessings will appear in your life without the grinding and exhausting effort you once thought was mandatory for survival. You are moving from the season of hard labor into the season of divine favor. Divine connections are already being positioned on your path to replace every draining and toxic relationship that used to steal your vitality. You will no longer have to explain your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you will find yourself surrounded by those who recognize your frequency and who are assigned to help you carry the weight of your crown. Your purpose, which once felt like a blurry and distant mountain, will now become unmistakably clear. You will know exactly why you were born, and you will understand why every storm was necessary to bring you to this coordinates of impact. Your spiritual gifts are being sharpened in the absolute dark. The intuition you thought was just a feeling is becoming a sharp sword of discernment. The words you speak will begin to carry a weight that shifts the atmosphere of every room you enter. Your peace will become an unshakable fortress that no external chaos can penetrate. Your favor will not be a hidden secret, but a public testimony that forces even your enemies to acknowledge that the hand of the divine is upon you. Your next breakthrough will not be a slow climb, but a sudden acceleration. In one day, you will see the harvest of 1,000 days of weeping. In one moment, you will see the resolution of years of conflict. This is the reward for the one who did not quit when the silence was deafening. This is the recompense for the warrior who stayed at the post when the rest of the world went home. I need you to understand that what you are hearing right now is not a speech to make you feel better. This is not motivation. This is revelation. Motivation is a temporary spark, but revelation is a permanent shift in your reality. You are being given a preview of the movie that is about to play out in your physical world. If you can feel the heat of this truth burning in your chest, then your spirit has already accepted the contract. You are no longer waiting for the future. The future has found you. To seal this prophetic alignment and to declare to the universe that you are ready to receive the sudden acceleration of your destiny, you must act now. Go to the comments immediately and type the code 777. This is your mark of completion. This is your signature of faith. This is the moment you tell the heavens that you have heard the call and you are stepping into the light. Do not let this frequency fade without anchoring it in your reality. Your old life is a memory, and your new life is your only truth. Type the code now and watch as the atmosphere begins to match the magnitude of the words you have received. You are ready, and the doors are already wide open. This is only the beginning. Everything that was hidden is now being revealed. Everything that was delayed is now being released. Everything that was blocked is now being removed. Can you feel the weight of the atmosphere shifting around you? Can you hear the sound of the chains falling in the spirit realm? The architect of time is leaning in, and the frequency of heaven is vibrating through your very bones. He is speaking directly to your soul, and he is saying one final time, tell them everything. They are ready. They have passed the test of the pit. They have survived the silence of the desert. They have integrated their golden shadow, and they are no longer afraid of their own light. This is your moment of absolute reversal. The hidden years are finished. The period of obscurity is dissolved. You are moving from the sequential time of the world into the opportune second of divine destiny. Every tear you shed has become a diamond in your crown. Every betrayal you suffered has become a step on the ladder to your throne. Every storm you weathered has become the wind beneath your wings. You are no longer the victim of your history. You are the sovereign of your future. The pressure of your Saturn return has done its work, and you have emerged as the diamond you were always meant to be. The Father is looking at you with a roar of approval that echoes across the universe. He is declaring over your life that the forge is closed and the stage is set. Listen to the finality of this truth. Your old season is over. Your new life has begun. Your old season is over. Your new life has begun. This is your verdict. This is your release. This is your promotion. To seal this moment and claim your place among the assembly of the chosen, subscribe to this channel immediately. Your subscription is your declaration of faith. It is your way of telling the heavens that you have received the message and you are ready to manifest your power. Do not let this moment pass in silence. Seal your victory now. This is only the beginning. If your spirit is burning right now, if you feel a pull, a warmth, or a quiet vibration in your chest that you cannot explain, stop and recognize it for what it truly is. That is your confirmation. That sensation is the physical witness of the heavens to the truth that has just been released into your atmosphere. Do not try to rationalize it away with your mind. Your body is telling you what your spirit has known since the day you were born. Heaven has waited for this exact alignment, this precise second in the fabric of time, to confirm what you have always sensed in the secret places of your heart. You have spent a lifetime feeling like an outsider, like a visitor in a world that did not speak your language, but in this moment, the translation is complete. You are home. The Father is looking at you with a gaze of absolute recognition, and he is saying that this feeling is the seal upon your new contract with destiny. He wants you to know that the period of testing is over, and the evidence is written in the very rhythm of your heartbeat. Listen closely to the whisper that follows the fire. You were never forgotten. You were never rejected. You were never truly abandoned, even when the shadows felt like they were swallowing your name. Every moment of isolation was a moment of insulation. Every door that slammed shut in your face was a divine shield preventing you from entering a room that would have suffocated your calling. You were not being ignored. You were being positioned. You were not being punished. You were being polished. You were being held in the secret place of the Most High until the world was ready for the specific frequency of light that only you can carry. Now, the positioning is finished and the manifestation has begun. The clarity you have been starving for is now flooding your spirit. The purpose that once felt like a distant and blurry mountain is now the ground beneath your feet. The abundance and the favor that were written for you in the books of heaven before the foundations of the world were laid are now breaking through the veil into your physical reality. You are stepping into a season where your presence alone will shift the rooms you enter. You are becoming the answer to prayers that were prayed centuries before you arrived. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, and it is settling into your bones right now as a permanent resident. You have passed through the furnace, and you have emerged as pure gold. The scent of the struggle is no longer on you. The weight of the past has been lifted and replaced by the weight of your crown. This is your truth. This is your reality. This is the moment your history ends and your destiny begins. You must not keep this fire to yourself. There are others who are still in the dark, others who are where you were just a moment ago, feeling lost and forgotten. You are now a light bearer, and it is your first act of authority to share this light. Take this video and send it to one person who comes to your mind right now. Do not hesitate. Your spirit knows who they are. Sharing this is not just an act of kindness. It is a prophetic distribution of the grace you have just received. It is how you tell the universe that you are ready to lead. By sharing this, you are declaring that you are no longer a consumer of the light, but a source of it. Stay in this peace. Let the warmth in your chest remind you of who you are every time the world tries to tell you otherwise. You are chosen. You are seen. You are loved. And this, chosen one, is only the beginning. Before you go anywhere chosen, one pause right now. The heavens have spoken, and your spirit has heard the call, but your journey requires one final act of alignment in the physical realm. Do not let this frequency dissipate into the noise of the world. Take this moment to anchor your revelation. Go to the comments immediately and type the words, "I am ready for what God is revealing." By typing this, you are not just writing a sentence on a screen. You are signing your name in the high courts of destiny and declaring to every force of darkness that your period of hiding is officially over. Like this video right now to seal this breakthrough. Your action is a beacon of light that instructs the universe to find the other chosen ones who are still trapped in the absolute dark. Subscribe to this channel because the Father is not finished speaking to you, and you must stay available for the instructions that are yet to come. This is the sanctuary where your spirit will be fed and your authority will be sharpened for the stage that awaits you. Now I invite you to take one final step of faith. If this message has set your soul on fire and you feel the weight of this truth in your bones, I invite you to sow a small seed of love into this ministry. You will find a link in the description to buy a coffee for this mission. This is not a transaction. It is a spiritual sacrifice of gratitude. When you give, you are strengthening the voice that speaks to the chosen, and you are helping us spread the light of Christ to the ends of the earth. Your seed ensures that the message of hope reaches those who are still crying until they taste their own tears. Your generosity is your way of telling the heavens that you value the word that has transformed you today. Thank you, beloved, for your heart and your obedience. You have passed the final gate, and the scent of the furnace is no longer on your clothes. The forge is behind you, and the palace is before you. Go in peace, for the architect of time is walking beside you. This is only the beginning.